Well, welcome back to the A Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Amir Hamid. Joining me today will be Mauro Cesario.
Hey, how are ya?
And Brant Devon.
Hey, got you quick that time. I figured out why I don't do it quick.
Got you off guard there, right?
I figured out why I don't do it quick too, because there's times when you decide that we don't get to speak. And it's like you fly through both names at once. So I'm never sure if I'm supposed to.
No, I give it a beat, but then you just.
I know, but half the time you're like Brant Devon and Mauro Cesario. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay, we just flew through that. I'm like, all right, cool. No. So I wait, make sure I'm supposed to say something, or maybe you just wanted to fly through both that day. So I figured it out. It's not my fault. I'm blaming you. Thank you.
I disagree vehemently.
That's fine. We all.
I think that's ridiculous.
Agree to disagree.
All righty, boys. So what week was it, Mauro, that just happened in the NFL?
We just had week 9.
Okay, so we're on to week 10. Oh, what's the Thursday night? Oh, it's Chargers at Oakland. All right. So we got to put that in to talk about. Yeah. And then we can talk about everything that happened in week 9. So
weird week.
Was it?
Kind of. There were some upsets that we definitely missed.
I mean, we'll talk about them, but what do you guys want to start off with?
I kind of want to start with the Patriots game because we're now down a undefeated team.
Who called that San Francisco had a better chance?
Okay.
Thank you.
If San Francisco loses this week, then you're not 100% correct because they would have went the same amount of games going undefeated. Because
incorrect. It went later on into the season.
Take a look.
No, but they had a bye week.
They had a bye week.
It went later on into the season.
They both played 8 games.
But it went later on.
Played 8 games before they lost their first game.
Nope.
All right. Well, 2 against 1. So, man.
Okay.
However, the point stands that the Niners didn't. The Patriots had a better chance to go undefeated for the year. The Niners' schedule is fucked. They've got, I think it's the Seahawks and the
Seahawks twice coming up.
Yeah. And there's the Packers are in there too. The Ravens who just beat the Patriots are in there. It's not going to be an easy run. There's a good chance they end with more losses than the Patriots. Even still.
It's a tough stretch and it's going to be
they're going to be a playoff.
It's going to be a good tell because we finally saw some life out of their passing offense, which was always the question mark throughout this entire 8-win run. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the offense responds because we know that the defense has been the real deal so far.
Yeah. For both teams. Not even.
Yeah. Jimmy G made some really clutch throws in the Cardinal game where I was just like, okay.
And the Panthers game. Both games.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were good.
I still don't 100%. I agree that the Patriots probably will end up with the better record, but
I don't think they're the better team. I think San Francisco's the better team.
I don't know if I feel like that yet.
The only reason, I look at the Patriots and I think their big thing for this entire season so far is their defense has been incredible. And I get that they're good, but who have they played? Give me an offense that they played. That was a good offense. This is the first week they've had a good offense and they got slaughtered.
They got 70 or 37 points put up against them.
Yeah, they got ran over by a good offense. And I'm like, okay, so if you keep facing offenses like this, they've got who's coming up
Philly,
for them? Anyone have
Philly after the bye week? Philly, Dallas, Houston.
Dallas and Houston can put up numbers.
Then week 12 week 13 or 14 they've got the Chiefs, and if Mahomes is fully healthy, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, so you got a lot of offenses, and your offense is not clicking all that hard right now. Sanu had a big week. But outside of that,
that's why I kind of feel better about the Patriots. Because let me defend them here for a second.
Yeah.
Because I think that they have to take away positives from a game where you got ran over. I think the connection with Sanu, it was huge. Brady was looking at him and Edelman the whole night. I think getting back your first round pick, N'Keal Harry, is another receiver that you have. I still think that you need a tight end, which I don't know how you're going to, I think you're just going to line one of them up basically. I mean, it would help.
It's probably a little bit.
And I think getting back Isaiah Wynn after your bye week is going to be a huge help because Marshall Newhouse is a garbage left tackle, as all Bears fans would know. So I think they're getting better in a spot that hasn't been clicking.
Yeah.
I think their defense, their defense wasn't helped out by their offense just because they didn't sustain anything. So they didn't put any pressure at all.
No.
You can't, you need to tire out a defense by stringing along those 10 play drives. And then your defense gets the rest during that time. They didn't do that the entire night.
No. They haven't all year though. Their offense hasn't been incredible. They haven't it hasn't been a Tom Brady offense. It's been like let's hope to God our defense scores us points or else we're in a lot of trouble.
No, but I think even from the standpoint from the run, like they got put up against a great run defense, like a top 3 run defense in the entire league in the Ravens, and it was shut down. And you're forced to now throw the ball. And like to Amir's point, you're not able to do those big chunks of 10-minute or 7-minute drives where you're able to have your defense rest. Like, and it just goes to that point.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Without having Isaiah win on Brady's blind side, I think it's hurt Brady throwing the ball, even though they've been one of the most pass heavy offenses in the league, which is kind of surprising. But they haven't been able to run the football effectively, with your James White and Sony Michel. Like Sony Michel's been a bust this year. If you're looking like from a fantasy perspective, like
he's not what he was last year.
He stumbled into the end zone one game 3 times. Other than that, it's been mediocre or subpar. No.
And like, I just believe that because we have the past 2 decades basically as evidence that the Patriots at some point will probably get it clicking. Like, I think you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though it didn't look great. It didn't look. This loss kind of reminds me of like the Chiefs loss whenever on Monday Night Football at Kansas City, like 3 or 4 years ago, when everyone proclaimed that the Patriots dynasty was over, that they're not going to win, and then they go on to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that they're going to go win the Super Bowl, but I don't think that they're as. This isn't the end.
I'm still clinging to the fact that I think they're a bit of a pretender this year. More than a contender, because I just
not as much of a pretender as the Cleveland Browns.
The record is inflated. I believe the record is inflated, but not to the point where they're a pretender. It's just after that 3-game stretch of Philly, Dallas, and Houston, we'll get a good look, because it's been all these scrubbed teams. Like they played the Giants, they played the Jets, the Dolphins, like the Bengals.
One thing is that no one remembers is that they played Pittsburgh when Ben Roethlisberger was still there.
Yeah, but they sucked.
But like everyone just forgets that. It's like, they beat
Roethlisberger, but like who else did that team have? James Conner. It was James Conner when James Conner couldn't figure out how to run the football, because his first 6 weeks he was horrible. And then you get Juju. Any team with a good defense can cover just Juju on the other side.
Stephon Gilmore, the best corner in the game, can cover Juju.
Yeah. Like that's not a problem. So I mean, like Pittsburgh, they're okay, and they still had Big Ben, but like Big Ben doesn't have the weapons that he's had in Pittsburgh the last 4 years. That's the other thing too. Is this is the first time you're going out there without AB? So you're running this entirely new offense where you're like, what the fuck do I do? It's not the same Pittsburgh. It's not the same Big Ben.
I mean, look, the thing is if you look at the Patriots schedule, the next 4-game stretch is the toughest games of their season. I think that it's like a good test. I don't know. And then the last 3 games are just cupcakes. Like they get Cincinnati, they go to Cincinnati, and then Buffalo comes to New England. And then Miami comes to New England. Like it's a tough stretch right now. Don't be
surprised to see 3 straight wins in the year.
Yeah. No. I expect like 2-2 or 3-1 in the next stretch. I don't know. I don't expect 4-0.
No,
that would be big if they got 4 or 3. But
in a way, I could see 4-0.
I could see 0-4 too, though.
I can't see 0-4.
It could happen.
Nah, you'd see them losing at Philly. I think Philly's such a weird team.
Philly's the one that I don't really see. I don't know what Philly is, but if good Philly shows up, I could see them beating the Patriots.
Yeah. I kind of think Dallas is fraudulent also.
Right, but they could also run all over that.
But it's in New England.
You just did.
I think the Cowboys are a bit of a pretender, but that's just my bias, because if the Giants keep them to whatever, like 5 points up until like the third quarter, then I think the Patriots can take them handily, but that's just me.
They are a third, fourth quarter team.
They went 3-0 to start the season, the Cowboys, and then they lost however many.
Yeah, they're
actually played real competition.
Yeah, they're a weird team.
If they you put up Gilmore against Cooper, and I mean, I think the Patriots take it. It'll probably be a great game, but
could you see the Cowboys beating them though? Absolutely.
No.
I definitely could. I think
it's like a 20% chance that the Cowboys could win.
When they show up, they look like a good team. Like Zeke Elliott when he's on firing and when Dak's hitting targets, They could beat the Patriots.
Yeah, but like,
because that offense doesn't scare me, man. That's the biggest thing is like that offense isn't going to put up a ton of points against the Cowboys. And if your offense is firing at any point in time, you're gonna beat the Patriots. I think the Ravens just showed that, man. Like their offense was good going into this week. You're like, oh, I don't think they can score against this defense. I'm like, well, like I don't think the defense has really seen that much. Like they look good. They put up numbers, but they haven't had to face anything. Now it's your first test against an actual offense, and they cakewalk them. It's like 38 points? It's a lot. 37 points.
Realistically,
supposed to be world beating.
Realistically, there's a lot of things that like could have and should have went differently. Like, wasn't it the first drive that there was an offsides on, or there was a penalty on a field goal attempt, or it's supposed to be, and then that extended their drive. And so instead of a field goal, it went into 7. The Edelman fumble, like there's 10 points right there that shouldn't have been on the board.
Yeah.
And then it swings the game. And like, I think that was, it was a winnable game, even though New England didn't play.
It was winnable early. I bet on them, but I thought like, okay, it's only 17. Yeah, they could probably come back, but they didn't win.
Right. Let's move on to the most fraudulent team in the NFL this year.
God, no. Okay, man, fire Freddie Kitchens from a cannon yesterday.
Oh man, this is so annoying.
Yesterday, because this is your best chance to come back this season, this little 6-game stretch. And if you turn this 6-game stretch around and you're now above 500 as a team, they'd be 8 if they win out in this next 6 games, which is really possible if you take a look at the schedule. If they win out in the next 6, you're 8-4, I think.
8-4.
How many losses they have?
They're 2-6 right now.
8-6. So they're 8-6. If they win these next 6, they're 8-6. They're a playoff team.
They got to play a tough Buffalo team, which, I mean, at 6-2, they got a great defense. I don't know how Freddie Kitchens is supposed to get himself in and out of this with a win.
Like, get rid of him. The guy can't call a play worth of shit. Like a lot of blame is getting thrown at Baker, and like I get it.
Rightfully so.
No,
both of them have are held accountable in my.
Dude, there's a lot of issues with this Cleveland Browns team, and I think Baker Mayfield's probably 3rd or 4th on the list. I think number 1 is your O-line because
third,
it looks like third. Jeez,
I'd call Baker third.
I'd go your O-line's number 1 because
O-line, Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens is god awful, and then a little further down you get Baker. What has Baker done?
He holds on to the ball way too long. His throws have been inaccurate all season. And
why
do you want as a game man?
He's tied for the league lead in interceptions.
How many interceptions did he have that have bounced off the hands of receivers? I remember 5.
Okay, but the difference is, so he's tied with Jameis Winston with 12 interceptions. The difference is Jameis has thrown 16 touchdowns opposed to Baker's 7.
Yeah, they have no O-line. What do you expect him to do, man? Like he doesn't get enough time with the ball. Like
I think okay, but I think Baker's that, like, we overrated this team even last year, because I think look at the wins that they had last year, like down the stretch, that everyone believed that the Browns could be good.
Yeah,
going back, they beat the Bengals, the Broncos,
not good.
The Panthers without Cam, right?
Not good last year.
The Bengals again,
not good.
Ooh.
A fraudulent Falcons team,
good last year though.
No, they were not.
Okay, last year. They had Julio. He's firing.
The Ravens with Lamar in overtime, a 12-9 win. No, that was not a
good win. Good team that they beat.
No. Regardless, I think that this team overrated as shit. And no one realized until...
You think so? You think they're overrated right now?
There was so much hype going into the season.
Before the season.
Nobody laid a foot on the field, and this was a playoff team.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you have
proclaimed
the best wide receivers in the game.
Contender.
How can you add a 4-time 1,000-yard wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. and now be projected to do worse than Eli Manning and that terrible New York Giants offensive line? How is that possible?
He's also barely been used up until the last few weeks.
But that's my point.
That's Baker's fault. That's Freddie Kitchens' fault.
And
like Freddie, get him the ball.
He's only getting 8.7 targets through the first 8 games, which is significantly lower than what he would get when he was in New York, where he was averaging more than 10 targets a game. So who is that on?
It's a bit of both. Like
that's what I mean.
yes, you could blame Baker, but like give him some sort of option. Like get him in some open field. Like OBJ is going to make plays for you. Like
but that's what I mean.
Give him a set where you have him quick pass, boom, away you go. Make something out of this because he has
not
ability.
many plays drawn up for that. No, and that's on Kitchens.
They have nothing drawn up for that. They have minimal RPOs. You're giving yourself no time because you need something because like your O-line's getting beat every time. There's not a time when Baker's not under pressure. So you need to have something where like you confuse the defense a little bit as to like maybe think you're running, maybe because like Chubb's been a weapon. So if you have
Chubb's
the defense,
your best player.
Yeah,
right now he's your best player.
Yeah, if you have Chubb. If you have the defense thinking Chubb's got the ball, you're going to open up a little more time for Baker to be like, oh shit, they're over there. I'm good. Let me hit OBJ over there in the corner wide open.
It just hasn't happened though. No. Even on those kind of plays, they come few and far between, but
their playbook is awful.
Yeah.
It's trash.
But even from the sense that Baker had OBJ on Chris Harris one-on-one in the last game here against Denver. And he threw a terrible ball. Like Odell had to go over his back, reach over him, catch the ball, and he took it for a 25 or 30 yard gain. Like just give him the ball one-on-one. Like he's a wide receiver, like top 5 in the league in terms of skill. Like just let him make plays. And they just haven't done that.
The best hands among receivers. I don't think that's questionable.
Like you do that with Antonio Brown more often than not, he's going to win you the ball. You do that with DeAndre Hopkins more often than not, he's going to win you the ball. Yep. And I think he's more than capable of just being that kind of guy.
Yep. Right now in the league, here's some guys that have more targets than him. DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Allen Robinson, Tyler Boyd. Like what he has right now, 67 targets. DeAndre Hopkins, who leads the league, has 92. Why isn't Odell in that like range?
I think a part of it has to do with the fact that you also have Jarvis. Like when
Jarvis Landry is a possession receiver.
Yeah, but when he's firing, you're going to give him the ball. Like there's been games this year where Jarvis is like over 120.
You can't tell me that the reason why you're not getting your best player, your supposedly best player. You're not getting in the ball because of Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is a guy that like, he's a dependable guy, but he's not your big play guy that you go to.
No,
he's a slant. What's up?
Can you just refer back to that number of targets he had?
Yeah.
Odell?
Yeah.
67? Was it?
67.
Guess Jarvis how many targets has the same amount? Come on. Let's cut the crap here. That's on Baker. I don't think you can blame Freddie Kitchens for who he's choosing to pass to.
No, he's also not giving him.
And you're talking about an objectively better receiver.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He only has 22 more yards or 20 yards more than him.
And they both have one touchdown. Yeah. He's a perennial threat for plus 1,000 yards with Eli Manning throwing to him.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Baker deserves a little bit of the shit. Yes. But like, dude, he's not your problem right now. Your problem starts at the top with Freddie. You need to fix your O-line, obviously. Then we'll figure out what the hell Baker is. Because you can't tell me if Baker is watching this O-line like guys through like that. No quarterback's going to be good if you're getting hit every single drive or every single play. It's not like he's going to miss throws. He's not going to be able to see OBJ all the time because he's throwing under pressure every single time.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we do this really quick?
Yep.
Can we re-rank the QBs from the 2018 draft and just the Baker, Darnold, Lamar, and Josh Allen?
Lamar's number 1.
Lamar 1.
That's not even close.
Which is kind of crazy.
I mean, he's really Colin Kaepernick-esque. So give it a couple years.
It's Kaepernick. Okay. So I was trying to figure out a comparison. Like Lamar's not as electric as Vic, but he's pretty close.
Yeah.
He's not as good a throw. Like he doesn't have the arm that Kaepernick did.
No, but I think he's a better runner.
But he's lanky.
No, that's what I mean. But he's a better runner.
Yeah. Better runner than Kaepernick without the arm.
Without the arm strength, but maybe the same level of accuracy a bit.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird comparison.
Smarter runner, I think, too, than Kaepernick was. Kaepernick would just take off and go for it in weird spots.
So
Lamar knows when to run.
You would say Lamar 1.
Lamar 1.
Probably Josh Allen too.
I'd say Josh Allen too.
I'd take Josh Allen last.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah.
No.
Not a Josh Allen guy.
No. Fine. You can't argue with the fact
Baker
that
two,
better than the rest.
Darnold 3.
I'd put
and
Darnold.
Josh Allen.
Darnold seeing ghosts.
Darnold is the last on my list right now.
Darnold seeing ghosts.
I disagree.
He's had one win this year.
He lost to the Dolphins.
Oh, look at his receivers.
No, that's enough.
What do you mean his receivers?
Does not matter.
That same receiving core just beat the Dallas Cowboys.
He lost to the Dolphins. That's enough. He's fourth.
Like how can you lose to the Dallas Cowboys?
You could argue with
the Dallas Cowboys and lose to the Miami Dolphins.
You could argue with me that
riddle me that one.
You could argue with me that Baker's better than Josh Allen. You cannot argue with me that Darnold was better than either one of them.
That's how I feel. Like if you're telling me to redraft them,
okay,
that's the order I'm taking them in.
Josh Allen was number 1 in fantasy points in the second half of last year.
Yeah, that's fantasy points.
Yeah, that's like that's his raw ability. I still think he's the better quarterback than the rest of them, and then the other two.
I think Allen's a better athlete in the sense that he's a much better runner than Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Baker.
I think that
realistically, who's got a better receiving core, the Bills or the Jets? And I don't think one is that much better than the other. And one's a 6-2 team, and one is a 2-6 or 1-7 team.
One's got a defense.
Bill's defense is disgusting.
Yeah. I understand.
The only reason the one is a 6-2 team is because there's nothing going through that.
Okay, but even in terms of points per game, I don't know it offhand, but I feel like
they're
Miami
they're a better offense than
the Jets. Put up significantly less than the Bills.
They also have been without Darnold, so tough argument.
I'm saying on a per average with him in the game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think Darnold's at the bottom, but it's just tough to look at the numbers from this year and be like, yeah, the Bills and the Jets.
Yeah,
Josh Allen looks like a good quarterback, man. When he's in the game, they're in the game. Plain and simple. Baker, I still think has the talent. He just needs help around him, which is stupid to say.
So who's you guys 2, 3, 4?
For me, it's Allen Baker.
Really?
Allen,
yeah.
I mean, I feel like 2 and 3 are interchangeable because you don't know what Baker is right now with this offensive line.
That's the only reason he's my 3 is because like I first year he was great and I put him probably number 1, maybe 2, but this year it's just I don't know what he is, man. Like he doesn't have a chance to throw the ball. He's not getting a lot of good. His playbook sucks, and I don't know. I'm not sure what Baker is anymore. Maybe next year you'll see. Maybe they improve that O-line. Maybe they get a different head coach, and you can actually judge Baker for what he is. But this year I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but you can see what Josh Allen is though.
I'm with Brant.
Should we talk about Baker a little more? So is he a mental midget for shaving 3 times in a day?
No.
Come on.
Why?
Focused on football, maybe.
How does that make him a mental midget? I don't get that argument. Like, what is that? That has nothing to do.
I think that it's weird.
Yeah, it's strange. We didn't say
that's why
is Danny Jansen a mental midget?
Because he shaved. Yeah,
shaved literally in the middle of the game. No,
sure.
He's superstitious.
Yeah,
that doesn't make you a mental midget. Is Sidney Crosby a mental midget?
Everybody's weird and has their own kind of superstitions and stuff. I mean,
I don't think it makes them a mental midget.
Hold on.
You don't rattle Baker
in a full beard.
Yeah. Okay.
You show up on the field with the handlebar.
Right.
And then you show up to the post-game press conference.
Didn't work. Shave it off. Mustache. Didn't work. Get that thing off as quick as you can. I don't think it. Can you rattle Baker? Have you seen anyone ever rattle Baker mentally? That guy's stone faced.
Yeah,
doesn't give a shit.
Defense.
No, they just get to him. That didn't rattle him. He woke up feeling dangerous. He showed up there, did his job. I don't think he's a mental midget, man. Just because he's superstitious doesn't mean he's
I don't think it's superstitious. I think that he was trying 3 different looks, but
it's obviously a little weird to do that at 3 different points in the game where you're obviously looking for attention. Like, I don't know, you show up at 3 different points where you're obviously going to be televised. Like, I feel like that's kind of weird.
It's strange. The one before the game I find kind of weird. I don't know, beard to handlebar. Like, why was that your play before the game?
Yeah, if that's what you're most worried about, then there's a problem, in my opinion. I don't know.
Agreed. Like, why are we worrying about this?
It's like soccer players with their haircuts.
Yeah. All right. So the Jacksonville Jaguars bench Gardner Minshew for Nick Foles.
Boo.
How do we feel about that?
It makes sense, but I hate it.
Yeah, he did not play well against.
He was bad.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Two straight bad games.
Fumbled multiple times.
The last 4 drives of the game was a pick, Gardner fumble, someone else's fumble.
It just was not looking good at all. I started him in fantasy, hoping that the depleted defense of the Texans would give him a plus matchup, and
no, it was bad.
So I think you go back to the guy you paid a lot of money for, and you reassess it.
You try to get some return on your investment.
Despite the hype, Nick Foles is the better quarterback.
Yep.
Objectively, yeah.
There's not many other ways to argue that. Like Minshew's younger. That's it.
This is why you don't buy a jersey for the memes. Like everyone that dressed up as Gardner Minshew for Halloween, it's like hold that $200 on you.
But if I'm buying a fake jersey,
no, that's fine.
Yeah, I bought my.
But you got to prepare.
Jersey. My you got to prepare
$5. Hold on, if you're buying it for Halloween, you would have had to buy it
when he got. Well, they might have had. Well, how many people hopped on that bandwagon his first game? Like just his look. Like I would have, if I was a Jacksonville fan, I'm like, hell yeah, give me a Minshew.
Yeah, but you know that it's not just Jacksonville fans.
No, it's true.
No, that was league wide.
Man, if I had the money, I probably would have bought one.
Regardless, I think that we think it's the right move, but I don't know, long term, it's not the right move, but short term, I think you have to go with Foles.
Yeah. Even long term, it's not going to hurt that much. Like you get Minshew in next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're not missing out on a lot of development time. You're going to learn from Foles. You're going to see what he does, how he plays the game, because he's a really good quarterback. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really get his dues, but the guy won the Eagles a Super Bowl single-handedly almost.
So Vinatieri missed the kick that could have won the Colts a game against the Steelers. And how far was it from? Without Jacoby Brissett, with Brian Hoyer as your quarterback.
Brian Hoyer.
Man, threw 3 touchdowns to his credit.
Yeah, that's fair. I was going to say Brian Hoyer.
What, a pick 6 was it? To Minka
Fitzpatrick.
So two takeaways basically from this game. One is I don't think that they're going to cut Adam Vinatieri.
Out of pure respect, you don't cut Adam Vinatieri.
But I think he kind of should. And then he goes to the Patriots. Because I think he's so storybook, because Mike Nugent sucks. Mm-hmm. If you saw his point afters, they were they were dead. So who'd
they bring in? Nick Folk or something?
Or sorry, that's what I meant. Even Nick Folk. It was his kicks that I saw in the Ravens game. I was just like, it's not looking pretty. But so the 2 takeaways from this game: Vinatieri has to make that kick because then the Colts win.
He's only 12 for 17 this year.
That's what I mean. He's not good anymore.
He hit a 55-yarder though.
Yeah. And just like that, the Pittsburgh Steelers are still in it after everyone was like, oh, they traded away their first round pick and it could be a top 5 pick. And now the trade looks great because Minka's been one of the best safeties in the league this year.
Mm-hmm. They're still not that good.
No, they're not. I think Mason Rudolph sucks, but
to their credit, they're winning. They're finding ways to win games despite having one of the worst offensive schemes ever. They're just doing this dink and dunk stuff and it's working.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're just relying on their defense. That's it.
Well, it's been great. I mean,
New England Patriots.
I think it just shows that Mike Tomlin's a really good coach.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
he's stubborn at times and it costs them, but I mean, for the most part,
he was getting shredded at the beginin of the year.
Yeah, and look at him now.
He almost costed the Steelers the game.
He's not going anywhere. The Steelers have had three
head coaches
in their entire franchise.
What's the guy on CBS?
Bradshaw? Not Bradshaw.
No. Shit. But Tomlin, Steelers coaches. Boom.
Yeah.
There's only 3. You can probably look it up in about 4 seconds.
Bill Cowher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3 coaches in their entire franchise history.
Yeah.
He ain't going
Yeah. So Cam Newton's out and he's done for the season.
I've never been so excited to see my starting quarterback go down. Thank you.
Yeah, for your like 3 different teams.
No, this is my one team, my number one team. The Browns are my backup team because they're fun to watch.
Okay.
Panthers still number one QB.
How many baseball teams and how many?
2.
Oh yeah.
2.
And what either way, Harper's on.
The best news that the Panthers could have had with Cam Newton being done for the year.
I don't think so, but digress. Go ahead.
Argue against it. What would Cam Newton do for this franchise in his current state?
I think that if you legitimately want to win in the playoffs, I think Cam Newton takes you further.
I disagree.
I mean, a fully healthy Cam Newton. Yes. Okay, yes. You don't know Cam what Newton, that is, where that is.
Cam Newton of 2010. Yes. Cam Newton of 2019 or 2018 or even 2017. No.
What even is the Liz Franks or whatever it is that he injured?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
The Liz Frank, it's in your
foot. Liz Frank, that one. Yes.
I don't really care what he injured. I'm just glad. I mean, I feel bad for saying it. I mean, get healthy, dude. If he comes back next year and he's Cam Newton, by all means.
That's the thing. It's whether or not they stay. Well, he's their quarterback.
Yeah.
Which is
but that's the thing. The Liz Frank is in the foot, isn't it?
Yeah. But
and for a guy who plays such a mobile game,
his shoulders fucked, so he can barely pass as it is. So I mean, now you don't have your feet or your shoulder.
So that's the question, right? Like, it's whether or not Cam can stay healthy, but also because it's 18 million non-guaranteed, they can just cut him.
Yeah.
Or trade or
shit move. I find because he kind of brought this franchise back.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because they were nothing when he got here, and he broke records in his first few years. He was still breaking records up until a couple of years ago, just rushing records and all this stuff. And he was just so electric in the entire NFL, let alone just the Panthers. And it sucks to just be like, yeah, okay, we're done with you. I honestly think you give him a chance next year, because if he comes back and his foot's healthy and his shoulder's healthy, and that's a lot of rest. Like, he's been out since week 3. So it's all that season, the entire offseason. You come back for week 1 and you look like Cam. He's better than Kyle Allen at that point.
Yeah.
But you have to come back and look like Cam. You can't come back and be this shell of what Cam was.
So did you guys see what the Chargers owner Dean Spanos was saying about the Chargers?
They're moving.
No, so it was brought up with the league that the Chargers, that they would not exploring, but they were looking into, not the Chargers, but the NFL looking into moving the Chargers to London. And I'm kind of at a point where fuck, just move them. Like,
London,
no one's a fan.
London's so.
I don't know how it would be logistically. They don't have a fan base.
Spit and Chicklets producer Mike Grinelli, he tweeted out, he's like, I'd rather see an NFL team in Canada before I see a team in London.
That's what I mean. You're going across.
So if you want to move them. Okay, I don't disagree with you. If there's no fan base, sure, but like, you're not moving them to London.
See, why I disagree is it's a bigger fan base there in London, and I don't know how it would work logistically. It is.
How?
That's why they have like.
How are you going to tell me they're going to have a better football fan base when the Saskatchewan Roughriders have the highest jersey sales? Your merch sales.
That's all Saskatchewan,
North America.
If you're moving a team, you're moving it somewhere. You're not moving it to there.
Dude, if you're going to make money, you move it wherever you want to move it. Even still, Hamilton's got one of the best fan bases in the CFL.
If you move it to London, you're getting the biggest. It's going to be one of the most.
I don't know how that would compete with soccer, to be brutally honest.
That's why I was going to say
you're moving it.
You're comparing the two footballs
to London. You know how many teams? You know how many soccer teams London has?
No, I understand, but
they don't have any soccer teams. They have football teams.
Look at look at how popular the London series is. Every week,
you get a couple games a year. You don't get 16 or 8. I guess it'd be 8 games.
It's only double. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you're getting 8 different teams in the London series. You're not getting, no team is playing there twice. You're trying to.
You guys understand how popular the NFL actually is in London? That's the thing.
Because they played there. Like, Yeah, you could say that it was a failed experiment in Toronto because they had the Bills in Toronto series, but like the cheapest tickets for that Bills in Toronto series, the Bills sucked then.
Yeah.
And the cheapest ticket was like $300.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not paying $300 to go watch the Bills. No, I can go south of the border and pay $15 and get like front row seats.
I understand that. So I was thinking like logistically how it would work. And I was just spitballing if you played 8 games, 8 weeks straight there. And then the team came over and played 8 weeks here.
But that would be so demanding on the teams having to go there for 1 week.
That's the other thing too, is the time change. So like, I know it's not as bad in the NFL because you get the week off.
That's a significant advantage to them because they're the whole entire time and they're back in the US.
But it's already like that before. With how teams they go over there, you have to adjust to it. Relax, but you would set it up so that the team would have its bye week after.
Sure, but that's not the point. The point is you're making teams go over. It's kind of stupid. I don't like it. I don't like sending teams overseas to go play the one game and come back.
Logistically,
they already do that.
I know, and I don't like it.
And it's successful.
Yeah, but not every team. I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's stupid.
Logistically, I don't think it makes sense from that point. And just like there's 10 different football teams or soccer teams in London's top 2 English teams. They have, in terms of capacity, like they have more than enough fields or stadiums to be able to house that kind of thing, which is why I don't think it would be able to work in Toronto. No. Just because like where are they going to put a team anywhere here?
Well, there's these new people that are trying to put together a team. If you caught the last podcast, we could just update that, make that an NFL stadium. Away we go.
But they already, they already have a stadium built in London,
which is exactly the point, right? Like if it would work in terms of housing or that kind of logistic, it would work. Like they have,
I think it's Tottenham Stadium or it's Wembley, one or the other.
Wembley's
it's not
basically only used for English football in terms of
they've been selling
national.
So it's not a football stadium. It's just a soccer stadium.
It's Tottenham.
It's basically like if the equivalent to it is like if Team Canada had their own stadium where only Team Canada plays.
Okay.
Regardless, here's the attendance this year. For the 2 games at Tottenham, those were sellouts at over 60,000.
Sure.
And then Wembley was 83 and 84,000.
Yeah. Obviously, they come there twice. 2 different stadiums. It's 4. Yeah. Okay. Two at 2 different places. You're going to, man. It's a couple times a year thing. It's like the NBA series in Japan. You're gonna sell tickets there too because you're going there.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna sell tickets to a preseason. It's twice the amount.
Yeah, but now it's every year. You're looking long-term sustainability.
It's been like this for the last 4 years.
Okay, but you're now getting an entire season full in one thing. You're not getting this. Ooh, look, this happens a couple times a year. We have to do this every week for 8 weeks.
I think that the fan base is big enough to do it.
The fan base is big enough anywhere. And like, you can't tell me there's not a fan base.
I don't know who in London, England is going to choose a weekend of football over soccer. Like, cause they all play Sundays. They all play Saturdays.
Yeah. For 2 weeks. Sure. I'll go watch a football.
I'm going to watch Charlton Athletic, some random scrub team in the second league of English football over an NFL team. I bet you there's majority of people who would do that.
Yep.
Okay, but the difference is, look at the support that Chargers fans have. Oh wait, they have none.
Not the point. Move them literally anywhere else. Move them to Vegas.
That's the thing. It's why Vegas London.
Vegas is having a
London just doesn't make sense.
Raiders already moving to Vegas.
Are they? Because they've been moving there for like 4 years.
I feel like you'd have to move to Canada before you go across the border.
I disagree.
Or across the pond.
They're not moving to Canada.
I feel like logistically that would make more sense. It doesn't make sense to go all the way to Europe before you go up
North America.
Your higher neighbor.
Yep.
Like
where literally every other professional sports league has a team. You're the only professional sports league without a team in Canada. It's worked for them. NBA is arguably one of the most up and coming leagues there is, and they have a team in Canada. Maybe follow suit. Just saying.
And where would you put that team? Toronto?
doesn't have to be
honestly,
Toronto. Literally anywhere in Canada.
I don't think the move needs to be. I don't think the move.
I don't think that there's the fan base for that if you move it anywhere else but Toronto.
Dude.
What?
You're not going to be that ignorant on it.
You're not putting
the Rough Riders have literally.
You're not putting a team. You're not putting a team in Saskatchewan.
You could
because it's the CFL.
But you could.
You could.
But football fans. It's the only
fan base would only be there.
Your argument is they don't have. That is the only thing they have. You're going to now move an NFL team, which is a real league, by the way, as opposed to the CFL. You're going to give them that, and you're going to tell me they're not going to sell out night in and night out.
Yeah, but how would that be better for the NFL?
Because you're going to make a ton of money.
Please tell me how moving a team to what's the population of?
It doesn't matter what the population is, dude. Literally right now, they're outselling all other North American teams.
Yeah, North American.
Where all the professional sports leagues, North America.
I feel like if Canada had one team in the NFL, everybody would still rally around it.
Yeah.
Just because it's the NFL.
Dude, the Jays.
CFL aside, you still have one NFL team that everybody as a whole Canadian nation can get behind.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in Toronto as the central location, just like you have it with the Raptors, just like how you have it with the Blue Jays.
No, that I would agree with. If you're moving a team, you're moving it to Toronto.
Yeah.
From a media's perspective, you're not moving a team to
media-wise.
You're not going anywhere but Toronto. Yeah, I'm with that.
Vancouver would be fun. Alberta's got media coverage, but there's nowhere to play there. Go to the West Coast. Keep it in the West Coast. Go to Vancouver.
Let's do in or out for NFL teams, whether or not they're in the mix or they're out of it. All right. Cincinnati Bengals. Out. Washington Redskins.
Out.
New York Jets.
Out.
Dolphins.
Out.
Falcons.
Out.
Giants.
Out. Giants.
What were you going to say? The Falcons are 1-7.
They've given up.
The sneakiest 1-7 heel ever.
They have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Maybe they show up.
Is Matt Ryan even playing right now? I know he got hurt.
That's right. That's it. Out.
Giants. Out.
Fine.
Bucks. They're a fun two. The Bucks are the most fun 2-6 team out there. Out.
They can't win consistently.
Browns. Out. I think they're out. I don't think that there's a chance. I think ridiculous.
Look at their schedule and then tell me there's no chance.
They get the Steelers.
They could easily be 8-6. But in the next 6 weeks, and if you're 8-6 in the next 6 weeks, anything can happen.
They have I can't count them. They have 5 division games still.
Realistically,
what
you got to win 5 of 5 division games coming up in order to come anywhere close.
Sure, there's weak division games. You're not playing the Ravens in the next 5. You're playing the Steelers. You're playing the Bengals, and you're playing. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are in there one time. Like they're playing shit teams. There's a chance. They're not way in.
They got to play Pittsburgh still.
They've got they
got to play Pittsburgh twice. I got to beat Pittsburgh in 2 games.
If they beat Pittsburgh twice, Buffalo's a tough one. If they beat Pittsburgh twice,
Pittsburgh, Miami, Pittsburgh.
They got to play Baltimore.
Cincinnati.
Not the next 6, is it? It
doesn't matter. They still have to play this.
They have 1, 2, 3
earlier in the year. What do you mean? Like they
believe that they're a better team than Baltimore
Ravens. No, I don't, but they've beaten them. So don't tell me they can't beat them. They've already.
But I'm not saying. Okay, you're telling me that a 2-6 team is going to rattle off
4 of the worst teams in the league. Yes, I definitely think they could.
I think you're
come on. Their schedule's weak from here for the next 6 weeks, other than Buffalo. Which Buffalo's
Buffalo.
A team that has won.
I'm giving the Steelers the benefit of the doubt because the Browns have not shown me anything that they're capable of doing anything coherently offensively. So I'm going to call a 1-1 split. Each team gets their home game as a win.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
So if they
lose to Buffalo, in my opinion, they lose to Buffalo.
Okay. All I'm saying is if they take both those games against the Steelers, they're in the mix because the rest of this section of the schedule is absolute trash.
Call me crazy, Mauro, but would you take Miami over Cleveland right now? I can see a scenario where Miami beats them.
I take the Bengals in one of their games against the Browns, but not Miami.
I would take. Okay, Cleveland has to go to Arizona. I think Arizona wins that game. Right now, with how the Browns have been.
Okay.
I'm done.
We agree to disagree, but they're not out of it yet. they still have a chance. With that weak ass schedule, they still have a chance.
I don't think they get past 8-8.
All right.
No, and they're not getting in if they're 8-8.
No, they got to be 9-7 at least.
The Denver Broncos at 3-6, I think they're out. The Bears at 3-5, I think they're out.
They're out.
Who do they have coming up though? Because that's such a
doesn't matter. That offense is just a mess. They can't even put up points right now.
The Cardinals at 3-5-1, they're out.
Are they?
Yeah.
Who's in that division? They're hot right now, but
it's the NFC West. So
who's in it? I don't know the divisions.
San Francisco, Seattle, LA out.
They're out.
Detroit 3-4-1.
I don't count them out yet.
I think they're out.
They got the Bears, Cowboys, Redskins, Bears again. They got a lot of division games that they need to win. I don't like it.
They have the Packers again?
Week on week 17.
I think it's going to come down to that game. They're still a good team. They had a tough loss this week. They can put up points. I mean,
their defense.
Do they have a good chance? No. Are they out of it? I don't think so. Not yet. They're still holding in at just below 500. Put a couple wins together, which they've been through a tough stretch.
I think that tie hurt.
Listen to this though. Listen to this. 31 points given up against the Raiders, 26 against the Giants, 42 against the Vikings, 23 against the Packers, 34 against the Chiefs. Like, you're not a playoff team if you're giving up more than 21 points a game.
Titans at 4-5.
They're out. Your quarterback situation's a mess. You're out. I'm sorry.
The reason I say I think this is like the cutoff is basically the Jags are also 4-5. They might.
Nick Foles.
Anybody in this division can take it still.
Nick Foles.
The Texans are 6-3. Colts are 5-3.
What are the Colts if Jacoby Brissett's hurt? Have they announced that yet?
It's a knee sprain.
MCL sprain.
Yeah.
How long?
They said it was questionable for the game with it not looking likely.
I don't have a lot of faith in that offense without Jacoby Brissett, which is strange to say because I didn't think he would be anything this year, but that's a big loss. Brian Hoyer.
I don't think now it's strange to say. I think that he's a top 20 quarterback in the league when he felt, which
that's what their coach said. Now you can, now it's arguable, but like before the season, it's laughable. Now it's like, oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I still think that so then here's the teams that I think are still in it technically.
Pretty much everyone else.
Actually, I don't know if the Chargers are in it.
Oh, yeah, no.
4-5. I'm not.
They look bad recently.
Yeah. So Titans,
I can see the Chargers,
Jags, Raiders, Eagles.
I don't have faith in the Raiders.
4-4.
Raiders.
I don't think that they're second in the division.
Behind
Kansas City.
Literally, it comes down to Thursday. It comes down to tomorrow's game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who you guys
get a 5-5?
Who are you guys picking? I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah.
I'll take the Chargers.
Oh.
Phillip Rivers scares me. I don't like it anymore.
Phillip Rivers played awful and Melvin saved him.
Yeah.
And the defense looked really good against the Packers of all teams.
Yeah. With
Devontae Adams back. So I'm taking the Chargers.
Oh, I forgot they just slapped the Packers up and down the field. I completely forgot that was a game. You know what? Yeah. Let me flip my pick. Fun. Mauro, you don't need to make up ground on me anymore anyways. It's tied. Oh, no, it's tied, isn't it?
It's tied.
Yeah.
I think that Oakland's still in it. Look at their next 3 games.
Sure.
Chargers, Cincy, Oakland, Jets.
Okay.
Likely 3-0.
But you said the Bengals could beat the Browns.
I say 2-1.
They're good. Could they not beat the Chargers?
Which is why both these teams are still in it for me.
Maybe
could the Bengals beat the Chargers.
I guess technically every other team is still in it. Like if you're sitting at 500 right now, you could easily go on a run.
That's what I mean. It like 500, I think, is legitimately the cutoff.
Oakland I don't know if they've got it. Like what do you like? It depends which Derek Carr hasn't been bad. And if Derek Carr shows up and continues to be Derek Carr, then
Josh Jacobs has been ridiculous for him. All right, quickly, Super Bowl contenders. 49ers? Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots?
Obviously.
Yep.
Saints?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Packers?
No.
They're 7-2.
You just got slaughtered by the Chargers.
That's fine.
No. Sorry.
I think that they're still in it.
I lost so much belief in that team. I'm like, yeah, easy win.
And I like the Seahawks.
I agree. Seahawks, though, I still think that the Seahawks can win the Super Bowl.
They give up so many points, though.
They do.
Which
Baltimore?
You're not used to saying. Baltimore, yeah. That AFC.
And then now it's a bunch of 6-2 teams.
Kansas
The Ravens, yes. The Bills?
No. I like the Bills, but no.
But no.
They're not a
Exactly. Houston? No. Realistically, like, can you consider them the same
that offense? Maybe. That defense? No.
Yeah.
Especially with
Kansas City.
Obviously. I don't think, man, once
I don't know.
Back, dude, they can walk teams with that offense.
But they're kind of just they're a better version of Tampa Bay.
They're Tampa Bay is the Costco version of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's go,
They're the Kirkland Chiefs.
Yeah.
Vikings. No.
I think if you have Mahomes, no, the Vikings are shit. I'm so sick of that fucking team.
Dallas?
No.
No.
Dude, Dallas lost to the Jets? No.
No. Don't get me started on the
Any team that loses the Jets in the regular season, you're done. It's over. Thank you.
All right, let's move on from the NFL to why are Leafs fans the worst?
Oh my God, I'm so sick of Leaf fans. Like so the big thing is we need to get toughness, right? Like that's been like
sure. I don't disagree that
no, maybe
guys
I don't like tougher. It. I don't like it.
I think like the guys on the team can be tougher.
Sure. Do you know what's the biggest thing I've heard on like trading guys? Yes, Nylander's one. Number two, I've heard Janssen's name come up in so many Leafs fans. Like we should
trade him. A lot of stupid plays sometimes.
Sure, but he's also the only thing that's actually kind of gritty left. Other than
Freddie Gauthier wants to have a word with you.
I would trade Kapanen before you trade Janssen.
And people are
stupid plays.
They're just so like Leaf fans are so confusing because it's like, yeah, we need to get tougher. We also need to trade Andreas Janssen, which is like you're contradicting yourself.
Yep.
Like he's the only guy that plays with some tenacity, and he's like, yeah, let's ship him out of town. We need.
You also had your most tenacious and gritty forward playing in the lineup for the entire season. So there's that.
Yep.
Zach Hyman has not played a game yet.
The funniest thing I've heard on Leaf media was Mike Zigomanis. I think it was today. He was saying that when Zach Hyman comes back, you need to trade William Nylander so you can open up cap space.
Fucking relax.
I'm like, no. I'm like, he's like, you're paying this guy too much money. You're paying him $6.9 million. That's not that much money.
No, but the crazy thing was, I swear to God, in the pregame yesterday, TSN was talking like Nylander was in this giant run, and he had scored, I think, so including last night's game, he'd scored 5 points in 7 games in his last 7. I was like, what are you talking about? And then before that, it was 3 points in 5 games.
Because he got benched once. So yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, can we calm down?
Somebody had the reply.
Crazy. And like, okay, me and Brant were talking about the Spezza thing. And like when I saw Brant tweet out fire Babcock from a cannon for scratching Spezza, I'm like, can we make a relax?
No.
Jason Spezza.
That's a tipping point for me.
Benching Spezza, but I'm
firing him for so many reasons.
Fire Babcock out of a cannon 10 games ago.
Yep. I fired him a long time ago.
Progressively worse. They're not playing to the best of their ability.
Cannon's fuse is very hard.
This is the first game that you've had your captain back. Like, can we give it?
And it looked like shit.
How much more?
We're going to give it one bad game with having your captain back.
That's not the point, man. It's usage. Like this guy just, I'm losing words on this. I'm just so frustrated with the shit he does. It's ridiculous. He thought last night was a good game. He literally came out and said, we played a great game. They played like shit. Done. Fire him from a cannon. Please. Done.
How many more scapegoats is this guy going to get? Oh, well, Tavares wasn't playing. Yeah. Oh, Hyman hasn't been playing. Like, what more?
This isn't your team.
Hyman's a third line winger on any other team. You're basing your coach's firing on whether or not you get a third line winger back. A guy that's got a career high 40.
Getting him back. It's getting Dermott back.
Career high 42 points. this team is not scoring and you're not firing your coach because you don't have a guy that has a career high 42.
Marner, Matthews, Nylander, none of them want to play for him. No. It's clear and obvious. Have you seen their work ethic these past 10 games? They're so lackadaisical. Like there's no, in Italian terms, there's no voglia. Like there's no willingness to do it. Voglia.
You got to give her one of these when you say it, though. It's not the same.
There's no what?
Vulva?
Volva.
Vulva.
Willingness to do it. Like there's no want. Like they don't want it.
No, I agree. I don't know what Volvo means, but I agree with that. Yes. They're uninspired. Like they go out there and they don't look like they want to play for them.
Let's give it a minute.
Given it 3 years.
You can give it Tavares is back. Your captain's going to put them back in the right mindset, but I don't buy it.
They were bad when he was here. They were not good when he was here.
Why is it in hockey? Like it's hockey and really football that like fans want to fire the coach at like the first, like they never want to give it a minute.
But how many you've been giving this guy years?
This is not. You're past giving a minute.
Hold on.
Past.
Let's just go back over the least tenure. Like during the Babcock first year, you tanked for Matthews.
Didn't even worry about what Babcock did.
Second year, you shouldn't have won, but you made the playoffs.
Did a good job building a culture. Good job.
Oh, Mike Babcock did a good thing.
Yep. That was the money in the winning culture. You made the playoffs when you really had no business being.
Realistically, you didn't need to make the playoffs the first 2 years.
No,
sorry, not the first 2 years. The 2 years that they did make the first two.
You mean
I don't think against Boston? You're saying you shouldn't?
Yeah. What? The first one against Boston.
In terms of if you're turning around from where you were.
Man, you want to rebuild as quick as you can. I want playoff hockey in the city as quick as I can. I don't care how many years we need to suck to do it.
I understand that. But I think like as the young players, Matthews, Nylander, Marner, it's a lot of...
I'd rather have them playing playoff hockey.
I understand. But I think that like the growing curve for the team and for the fan base, it happened sooner than it normally does for teams that rebuild.
Yes. But here's where I say for the kids, Austin, Marner, Nylander, you've now been playing for Babcock for 3 years.
Sure.
And you've only progressed to the point where you hit a stalemate at game 7, 2 years in a row now. And you're basically sticking to the status quo, given what has it been now 14, 15 games of those.
That's the biggest thing.
And there's been no progression.
No, there's been no change.
So at what point do you have to say, or at least they're showing it now where it's like, no, fuck this. Like they basically hit the nail on the head. Just the way they are playing, it's just so uninspired. There's no grit. There's no will to do things.
Oh, there's no grit because you don't have gritty guys.
It doesn't matter. There's nobody's going for the puck 100%. Like there's just, it's just like
that's because Nylander doesn't do that. Like all of your elite players, that's not their game. They're not going to dive in for the puck.
Not the point.
Not grit.
I understand that they don't look inspired. I don't understand why I'm on the Babcock save Babcock train. But like I just think that it's because we're in the Toronto media, and that they want instant success. Like they're basically expecting playoffs like success from now. Like they're trying to project from now. No, you shouldn't. Like there's no other market in the NHL that's like the Toronto market and how they want success. Like they think that right now it's the current present time is paramount. Like that it's absolutely
yes, because you're building this core to be the team that it's going to be in the playoffs.
It's the regular season. I think that you go through peaks and valleys. That's my point.
It's been a long valley. Either way, it's enough sample size with Babcock that you know what you're getting. And there's been no change. You're playing the exact same style of hockey you have been for the past 2 years, which you got slapped up and down the ice by the Bruins. I'm not saying you need to get tougher. I'm not saying bring in guys so that you can fight and you can do all that. Maybe start defending guys that get rocked like Kerfoot did again the other day. But I'm not saying you need to change it. You need to change your personnel. You need to get bigger. You need to get stronger. No, don't do any of that. I'm saying you need to make changes, some sort of change to this team where it looks like you're playing a different style of hockey.
They are changing the personnel year after year, and it's the same problems, and it's systematic.
Yep.
So you don't change a systematic play by moving guys around up and down the lineup or adding different players in and out from one team to the other. It's just get rid of the system. Like you've seen it in Pittsburgh where you move on and you bring in Bilesma halfway through the year and you take out Michel Therrien and they go on a cup run and they win. And then again, when they did it with Mike Johnson and they brought in Mike Sullivan, like at some point, like, you know, even last year with who was it at the beginning? It was in Mike Yeo and they brought in Craig Berube and they just go on this run right after the break. And all of a sudden from a last place team, you're the Stanley Cup champion. Like something's got to spark this team. And what else do you have to do than point fingers at the coach?
Yep. I think we've argued about Babcock enough.
Like we're fighting a losing argument because they're not going to make a change. I don't think that they should.
And that's the problem. Like I'm with you on that. I don't think there's going to be change.
Nope. So we can have this argument every podcast for the rest of the year. Still not going to make a difference.
It's just a rant because it's frustrating because there is no change from management to do.
I think it's a rant because we think that basically we're projecting what will occur in the playoffs based off of the present right now. And I think that it's unfair to the team to think that they're going to be playing this way then. Fair?
Sure.
Like, no, because I feel like there's a lot more to give and there will be a lot more to give on their end.
All right, let's move on.
I'm going to agree to disagree here because it's frustrating.
2 against 1. So.
All right, then you fire him.
I'd love to. If I could have.
If I had the power.
Yep.
All right, quickly, let's move through this MLB stuff. So Kurt Suzuki's a clown.
Stupid. Bonehead. Like,
I love this guy. I love this guy.
Oh my God.
So what is this about?
He's the best. Did you not see what Kurt Suzuki did?
No.
He was like, basically he comes up to the podium in a Make America Great Again hat and Trump basically comes back from behind him like it's the Titanic and how Leo was holding Rose and like grabs him from like behind and they're just hugging. Like it's the weirdest fucking thing.
Weird. But like you do that, whatever. Then he goes out and he's just like, "Oh, it wasn't political for us. It was just about us celebrating." Like, no, man. Once you put on that hat, you made it instantly political. Like just don't make any sort of political statements when you're there. I get like what the Blues did. They did great. Bertuzzo goes on after on Chicklets and discusses like, man, had nothing to do with politics. We literally showed up because it's the White House. We wanted to have a good time. Great. Well done. The Nats go. You have to go if you're the Nats.
Doolittle doesn't go, which great for him.
Great. You have that option. Good job. But you have to go if you're Washington because it's Washington, right?
You don't have to. Like the team, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If your home team doesn't show up to the White House.
So you go, but like, don't pull this shit, man. Don't start bringing out political symbols and putting them on. Like that's just.
So like Trump's on his like feel good rally right now, right? Mm-hmm. Because he has the Nats show up. Mm-hmm. He went to the UFC. The weekend. He's going to Alabama versus LSU this weekend. And here's the crazy. So everyone's like, so I subscribe to like this Alabama website, right? And the message boards there, they're all like, fuck this, get out of here. Like, cause so everyone was like, oh, well, Trump needs to get back in the good graces. Even they're like, we don't want you here for this game. No. We don't want the extra added security. No. Cause they're being told for a 3:30 game to basically come at 10:30 now.
Ew. Oh, cause I guess president's there. You're trying to, that's stupid. Fucking
it's ridiculous.
You're not a sports fan. He's never been a sports person.
Exactly. It's like,
get out of here. You're trying to win over the wrong crowd. Go away.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't be Obama-esque.
No, he was cool.
It was one of the kind because he was a genuine basketball fan. Yeah.
He was a fucking White Sox fan too, which is weird considering he grew up in Chicago.
Well, no, I mean, it depends on where in Chicago you're from.
I guess. But you're a Cubs fan.
Steven Strasburg opts out of his deal, rightfully so, because you're going to sign a big ticket.
There's also no age in Strasburg.
Huh? That's fine.
Strasburg.
That's what you put. I didn't put. I don't think I put that Strasburg.
No, it definitely says G.
No, but I didn't put it in there.
Where? No, I put it in there, but I didn't put it in there with an H.
Oh.
No, he also left like $70-something million on the table.
which rightfully so, because you're going to get probably 150 million.
Yeah. But like
what, 5 years at 150?
It's just crazy that he did it like a week after, not even a week. It's a week today that they won the World Series. It was like 4 days after they won the World Series.
It's the right move. And basically, so he's probably going to go back to the Nationals. Maybe he goes to San Diego. Who knows? I think the more interesting opt in and opt out was JD Martinez and how he opted into 3 years. What was it? 60 million with Boston. Because now Boston's facing the repeater tax and they could trade Mookie Betts, which is ridiculous.
Stupid.
And asinine. Like,
I don't think they do. No, I think there's rumors, but we'll see. I don't know.
Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't trade David Price, attach assets to him to make a team take it on.
Yep.
Attach money also. Like,
I don't know.
That's the more like appealing, I guess. But isn't he a free agent after the end of next year?
Price?
No. Betts.
I don't know.
Pretty sure. I think it's
pretty sure he's due for a hefty raise at the end of the season, which is maybe so
kind of makes sense, but
sure.
Depends if he's not the guy that you pay, I don't understand who is. Devon Travis and Tepera DFA'd by the Jays. What an era.
Nice to know.
I think Devon Travis is the ultimate, like, what could have been except for injuries, especially in this city. Like, there was that first year when I was like, yo, he could hit 30 home runs.
He was a 300 hitter at the top of the line.
Unreal.
Small period of time.
One of the sickest hands turning double plays I've seen when he first came up.
Yep.
Like, he was so good at making that turn. I'm like, wow, this kid's
so fun to watch.
Yeah.
You turned Anthony Ghost into him, and then I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And then
Anthony Ghost pitching prospects
just riddled him.
Yeah. Sucks. That's all there is really to say.
I think the Tepera one's worse. To be honest.
think it's surprising because like
makes sense to me.
He was injured all of last year, but he was arguably your most reliable reliever the year before that.
Yeah.
So
it's strange.
I guess we'll see. But I think you can find relievers always.
Yeah. Especially guys like Tepera.
Daniel Hudson. Look at him.
Yeah.
One last thing.
Daniel Hudson, who's a free agent, by the way.
Kawhi rests tonight in the national game against Milwaukee, and the NBA lost its mind.
Not the NBA, but the media did. The NBA actually backed it up, which is...
Well, yeah, because they said that they were on Kawhi's side.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
Like, you have to be for the NBA. I don't like it. I mean...
No, of course not. And I understand why ESPN's mad, because it's the media dollars that they're losing. Like, that's why you're getting paid such a high salary, is because of that. And then you go and sit out. I understand the frustration, but look at us. It works.
I know it works, but it's just soft. I just don't like it. Like, you're a professional athlete. You can play 82 games a year. Come on.
Is it a back-to-back?
You're like twice, maybe.
Tomorrow they play. So it's the first game of back-to-back, I think.
I don't know.
Is it the Blazers in the second half of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard.
I don't know, man.
I heard the spread changed big today, and like it got to the point where they cut it off.
Of course.
But he was taking the Bucks. So I heard that was news today.
I think just missing full games. I'm like, come on, man. Like, limit the minutes in both the back-to-backs. Like, you should be doing anyways. But to sit a guy for an entire game, I just find it soft. I just don't like it.
I think that
I didn't like it when we did it.
The NBA should probably have a rule that you can't rest on national media games.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't judge games based on like how.
No, but it's a make good thing between the NBA and the people, i.e. TNT and ESPN, who are paying billions of dollars for the rights. I
think they could afford to go a little bit more the MLB route, where they have like the DL time and you have to sit on the thing for a certain amount of time.
No, I don't like that because
like, I don't agree that you can just sit out of games. I think it's stupid.
No. So the reason why I think that's not dumb, but I just don't think that it would work is because what does it help you with? You get you another, you're not getting a player back. Like, you can't call up a player of Kawhi's caliber. Like,
well, you can't, man, if Mike Trout goes down, you can't call up a player of Mike Trout's caliber.
No, but the thing is,
an argument you can have.
You have, so in an NBA team, you have 15 guys, you play 13 of them, you have 2 guys that are resting. So it's not like
I just don't.
It's what he is inactive for that game.
It's stupid that you can. It's the only sport that you do that in, and I hate it. I think it's soft.
I think it begs the question whether or not the NBA schedule is too long, and It probably is. Like, just eliminate all back-to-backs.
We don't really have this conversation in the NHL.
Sure, but that's because you have that conversation with like a backup goalie and how you won't play your goalie two straight games. Yeah. I would consider my star players as the level of my goalie's importance to my team.
Value to the team. 100%. I'm with that.
That is normally soft.
Sure. Soft. But it got us a ring.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Gang. Let's go. All right. Is that it for this week?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.